anybody here, actually. We'll wait and see some people come on. And okay. Here we are. We are on the air. And hopefully some people will join us soon. Got the shop a little warmed up. Whew, it was cold in here this morning. But welcome to anybody who's coming in. Ah, I see we got one person in here. Great. Good morning. And hopefully you can hear me okay. Trying to get that spinning a little bit. Hi, Jesse. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Jesse, are you going to be here for a while? If you are, I'd like to set you up as a moderator. Is that okay? Can you moderate? I love this 40-second lag. It's like we're talking to Mars and back or something. You'll be in and out? Okay, well, I'm going to set you up anyway, so if you are in here, you can... I just put you in as a standard moderator. There you go. And so feel free, if somebody is getting obnoxious or something, you can warn them or put them on the sidelines for a couple minutes or whatever. But generally speaking, moderators don't have a lot to do. Hi. Well, we got 39 people in here now. So besides Jesse, who else is in here? Type into the comment section and say hello. We'll start working on here in just a minute. I'll kind of explain what we're doing this morning. Okay. So come on into the group. If anybody wants to speak up. It's funny how sometimes people don't want to say anything, but they want to be here. Well, while you're here, at least hit the like button and if you can, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers, and the only way to get there is to get there one at a time. Ah, okay. I'm gonna ruin this, I'm sure, but Masasa, I'm gonna say. Hopefully, I'm close. But good morning to you. Okay, so what we got here is I have a bowl a small bowl, olive, that I turned a while back, and it was green wood. And as you know, with green wood, it starts to spread and crack, and you can see little cracks here. And you can see, just little surface indications. And as I put this back on the wheel, it is turning just a little out of round. Just a little bit. You can see it right here with my finger. It's tick, 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 tick. So what we're going to do is we're going to reshape this. This is one of the reasons why I like to use the indented or recessed miter on my bowls, because then I can just mount them back up, put them back together, and go from there. So we're gonna try and do today. Please, while you're watching, though, if you would hit that like button and like I said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We need to grow to 4,000 subscribers if we can before the end of the year, and we're going to get there one way or another. Let me put my helmet on. Okay. All right, and we're going to start. What I'm going to start with is the outside here, and then we'll put on some of this other stuff and we'll move to the inside. But I want you to kind of see this process. You don't have to do anything fancy, but for right now, just because I want to make sure I have a really good connection, and because it's kind of fun, actually. I have some of this rubbery mesh here. I use this on a lot of my on a lot of my turnings for my chucks like this. Okay, so my jam chucks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here, and we'll tighten that down a little bit in there. Don't want to make it too tight. We want it to be able to spin with it. But now this cannot go anywhere. This is not going anywhere while I'm working on the outside. Makes it nice and safe. Welcome to everybody else who's in here, and let's kind of get this started. Now, I can use a lot of different tools. I think I was practicing a little bit with this. I think I'll start with just a carbide tool, just because we just don't know what shape the outside is in. But as you can see, as I draw it across here, it is ticking. You hear this? See that? Tick, 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 tick. So it is a little bit out of round. So we have to kind of re-round it. And to re-round it, we're going to have to get under the surface. And I will have to speed up the speed a little bit as we go too. Well, we need to get under the surface of the wood, just like you would on a regular bowl when you're just starting to turn it. You don't need to get too far underneath the surface. You just want to get past the bump part and smooth that out a little bit. You also don't want to lose the shape of the bowl in the process. Okay, so got that kind of roughed off a little bit, and I think it's a little bit smoother at the moment now. What we'll do is we'll go to my bull nose here. Oh, I'm sorry. I grabbed the wrong one. Yeah, here's my bull nose. And we use my bull nose to get in here and do the same thing. This is a little bit in my way, but I was trying to see if I can move this back just a hair. And if I can, I'll try. No, there's a piece of metal underneath there. It's keeping me from going any further back, which is fine. That's for safety reasons in the first place. So I'll just work around that. Okay, so here, and I'll just use my hands a little differently until I can get in here. It's like playing a guitar where you can't reach those last strings, or last notes on the fret board. You know, just make a little adjustment. When we remove the vibration on the outside of this, that'll make a lot of smoother operation on the inside too, because we won't be worrying about it moving. And I'm looking right up here to make sure that I'm keeping a nice even line all the way down. I'm not getting a hump somewhere or something like that. Yeah. We are getting pretty close to, it's still a little rough. Well, that's because of the edge here, but still just a tiny bit rough, but it's pretty darn close. Okay. And we'll go to a more refined scraper or skew here in just a second. And I realize a little bit of this bouncing is not because it's uneven. It's also because of some of those cracks that formed on the outside of this. Right here, these cracks, those are pretty good sized cracks again. And I'm going to need to work on those just a little bit here before we go any further, okay? So we're going to do these with a little bit of wood glue. And it's not there to necessarily fix the problem. I mean, it's not going to fill every hole or every crack, but it's to kind of reinforce the surface so that it's a little smoother to sand and finish. And look at this one; it comes all the way around to here. It goes down and comes back up. We want to get a little bit of glue down inside there. This one too. This one has a nice big tear in it. We won't necessarily see those on the inside, but we also don't want these to get going longer on the outside. So kind of stop that cracking a little bit. And of course, more finish on it will also help control that. And we'll get to that later too. This is just follow up on a green piece of wood. Is what it is. So hopefully we can get this fixed up. I'm gonna let that glue soak down in there just a little bit. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. And I got enough fine grains here to start covering that with. One of the problems when you do finer work like this is you don't have as much of that nice shavings to put on the wood as you would if you were just doing a first turn. On the other hand, it's all really fine stuff, and there's no big curls mixed in with it, so that part's good. So we're going to pat that on there, and that will absorb some of the glue. Okay, pat that in there. Please, if you're watching, please hit the subscribe button or hit the like button or double tap your phone, but especially the subscribe. We're really trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. We want to have a little party when we do that. We'll probably give away one of my bowls and send it to you. But you got to be a subscriber, and we'll have some sort of contest after we get to 4,000. So if you want to get in on that, please make sure you subscribe. So There we go. Okay, now I'm just kind of lightly going across grain with my hand. Okay, and I'm just kind of rubbing back and forth. And what that's doing is it's helping to seal up those little holes, or those cracks, I should say. I think I want to do this one right here too. I haven't done that one. And I'm telling you, if you don't have one of these glue bottles like this, it is a godsend compared to having just glue in a bottle. These things are great. Use them almost every single day. Uh, I wish I hadn't lost the little tip, but other than that, they are really good. You can use them all over your shop every time you use wood glue. And if you use wood glue a lot, like many of us do, you'll find that it's just so much better than using the bottle. It allows you to spread the glue out quicker, faster, more control, and you can get them from a lot of different companies. I know Miles Craft makes one, but there are some others out there that duplicate the same idea. Um, it's better than just putting it in a ketchup bottle or something like that. So, if you're in here, please hit the comments section. I'd like to interact with you guys some more. So feel free to write something in here. I'd like to know where everybody's from. What country or what state are you watching from? It's always fun to find out what our reach is. Okay, so that's now drying off. Okay, and I'm going to go in here with my negative rake. And that will just kind of take off a little bit of that stuff that's hanging up near the top surface. Like I said, it's not going to fix everything all at once, but it takes out some of that excess. And I think I'm going to leave that alone, and I think I can take most of that off with sanding later. So I think we'll just let that go, and we'll sand that out. And I'm okay with the surface here. I think I'm pretty okay with that surface there. Okay, so what we're going to need to do next is on the inside of the bowl. So now, how do we study the inside of the bowl? Well, we have something called a steady rest, and the steady rest is this tool that you see right here. Get this out of the way. Let me bring this up. You gotta loosen it enough. There you go. There you go. Okay. We'll bring this up to about here, where we will tighten it down again. Good. That's nice and tight. And what we do is we just let those fall right on into place. We don't push them in. We just let these wheels just barely touch. And we see how that's fitting. Turn the speed down a little bit. That's running pretty smooth. Okay. So now I'm going to take the tailstock out of the way. Put that over here. And, well, I'll use this rest for a second just to do the outside here a little bit, and then we will move to the inside. So just want to kind of have that control right there for the moment. And I know it's going to be a little bit rough. I want to be very careful. And when the wood warps, it doesn't take much warp for you to really give you a real bounce, bounce, bounce kind of attitude to it. So that's why you need to have it really controlled at first so you can control that bounce. Okay, so now we've taken that out of there. We're going to be able to take this down quite a bit from where it was. I always wanted to get into wood carving. I'm a welder and I would love to mix the two trades. I'm also with Charleston, North Carolina. Hi, welcome from North Carolina. Actually, I've got quite a few wood turning friends in the North Carolina, West Virginia area. So welcome aboard. Wood carving is great. I never got into it. My wife did it a little bit. And other than stuff that I did with my Boy Scout knife when I was a kid, that's about as far as I got with my wood carving. I just don't seem to have the artistic bend for that. So I have a great deal of respect for those people that do it, because I know it's not easy. And by the way, you always want to check your mount every once in a while, just to make sure that you're not knocking it off of its mounting here on the chuck. Okay, so we're going to change rests, and this is another tool rest that I really, really like. So I've been learning to use it more, and it does take some learning curve. This is a flat tool rest. It's a little over an inch wide. It's about 4 inches deep. They come from various companies. This one happens to be a Robert Sorby, but like I said, they come in various types. And I'm going to see if I got the right position before I tighten everything up. I think I need to raise it up just a little bit. Okay. Let me tighten it down. Let's see. The idea here, of course, is that you don't want to be touching the wood, but you want to be as close in here as you can. And what this does is this gives you a stable position platform for your tool to work. I'm going to get my light in there. And I'm right at the center. So if I just keep it down on here, it'll have more stability. It won't bounce around as much. And I should be able to get into the wood. Well, but you still got to be careful as you do that. So I don't need to go deeper. I'm mostly just trying to smooth out the wood. And I may not even use the scraper all the way. I'm just kind of using the scraper here to use my feeler gauge, I guess you might call it. As you can see, there's quite a bit of wobble in that. Because the green wood does warp, and that's what it's done on the inside here. So we're going to take some of the warp out, and okay. So I see how it's reacting to it. So I'm going to switch to scraper. A scraper is a little more stable. It's got more metal on metal here. Excuse me 1 second. Here we go. How long have I been woodworking? Well, I'm 70 years old, and I've been woodworking a good part of my life, but I didn't come by it naturally. My father was an executive, was a business executive and a Navy man. So, but I guess my first interest came from a neighbor when I was a little boy. And I always wanted to have my own workshop like he did. That was just always a dream of mine. And then as I was able to get older and able to afford things more, I started getting my tools. Started building things in my 20s. And I've been turning probably for about 25 years, if that's one of your questions. I've been turning for about 25 years, and I'm by no means an expert. I don't think you become an expert unless you just do this full time every day of your life. And I certainly have not been doing this full time every day of my life. Although now in retirement, I do get to come out here most days. As anyone who is retired will tell you, it's hard to find free time sometimes. You go from boring days to days where you just have way too much going on. And there's always at least one doctor visit in there somewhere all the time, because there's always something going wrong or something has to be tested or something that has to be removed. That's what I got coming up next month. I got to remove a couple things here. So, you're always having something removed, something installed, something replaced, and something being tested. It is an industry, I tell you. They do keep you hooked up. But they're just trying to give me a few more years. That's always a good thing. We all want to have a few more years.